Field's the worst I've ever seen. Worst I've ever seen. Well, the target. Well, extra somebody won't have one. So all Marcel will work on. Yeah, I'll send Steve an email.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Bill Gray Legion Stadium at Champion Car Wash Field in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon, where today your Roseburg baseball team welcomes in the Sheldon Irish for a Southwest Conference matchup. Roseburg coming in 11-2 on the season, 4-1 in conference play. On the other side, the Sheldon Irish 5-7 on the year, 3-3 coming off of a game last night against the South Medford Panthers. We'll talk more about the matchup as we make our way through the Roseburg Disposal pregame show tonight here on The Score. I'm Joey Kieran. It's great to be with you here on a Tuesday evening. Yes, plenty of clouds overhead. Yes, it's not all that warm, but we have avoided any real major significant rainstorms throughout the day today, and things are expected to be somewhat dry throughout the afternoon, which means that we are probably going to dodge a few raindrops here and there, but for the most part we are looking forward to having baseball in decent enough conditions here this afternoon and evening. Roseburg looking to try and go to 5-1 in conference play, extend a 3-game winning streak. Meanwhile, Sheldon looking to get back in the win column after losing last night against South Medford. We'll have more on those matchups and on the games for both these teams where they were in their last matchups. We'll have more of that for you coming up. Before we get too far into things, though, I want to remind everybody that today's game is streaming live with video online at 541radio.com. It's presented by the Cow Creek Tribe. You can head there and watch the action, or you can find it streaming on our YouTube channel. Just search 1490 The Score. You'll find our channel there on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button to follow Roseburg High Sports throughout the rest of the school year. As we get ready for today's matchup, we'll get a chance to catch up with head coach Troy Thompson as we continue our countdown to first pitch. This is the Roseburg Disposal pregame show on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM. Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Working from a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to. By hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations. Top of the Hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors, at home or on the road, at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Honestly, Luke, you're also one of the chillest people. Yeah, you're
Back with more of our pregame here on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM, streaming with video online at 541radio.com. As we get ready for today's matchup between Roseburg and Sheldon, we get a chance to catch up with head coach Troy Thompson. Coach, we are coming into another week here where you guys get a chance to get some conference games under your belt, coming off of a sweep on Saturday against South Medford. Obviously, put you guys in a nice spot where you want to be at this time of year. And, just kind of how'd you come away feeling about a couple of quality wins against always a tough opponent in South Medford?
Yeah, very good after this weekend with our pitching. We had a great performance by Evan Corbin again on game one. And then a great job by Jake Johnson game two to keep ourselves in it there. We managed to scrape across enough runs and get both those wins. So yeah, a good weekend for us, and always nice to play well at home against a very good South Medford team who came out last night and beat Sheldon down there in a makeup game. They were pushed with the schedule, so they had to play last night, and they got it done. Down there, South Medford did in a tight ball game. So, yeah, to come away from that and looking back on it now, yeah, 2 quality wins against a good opponent.
Yeah, for sure. We saw that things kind of had to get shuffled a little bit for game 2 with the injury to Austin Takahashi there. And, just that's always a thing that you always have to deal with in any season. That's nothing new. But as you guys kind of continue, how do you address kind of just making sure that you've got depth? I know it seems like when I put the rosters next to each other for each of your opponents, you guys don't have a ton of guys listed on the varsity roster for this year. How do you guys continue to kind of try and balance everything?
Well, that was kind of the benefit of playing our non-league schedule that we did, and we were able to see some different lineups. And when this guy goes to the mound, then this guy goes here, and mix and match and do some of those lineup changes that you have to make. And unfortunately, with Austin having an injury that he had the other day, we were able to make those moves, and the kids that got in and played through that did a great job and shined in their opportunities. So that's what you hope for, and not only benefiting them, but in the long term and the big picture benefiting us to be able to make those moves and put players in other positions. So that played out well, and we're going to have an opportunity to do that again here until we're back to full strength and have our entire roster ready to go.
We know, we saw Dane St. Clair came up a couple of days ago. Do you guys look to swing anybody up here during this stretch of the season?
It's always a possibility, but right now we're pretty solid with who we have in our dugout right now and in the lineup. So that'll play out as it goes, but that's always in play, like I said, and always a possibility should that need to happen. We have quality players at the lower levels as well. Mm-hmm. But as of now, we're fortunate to have the roster we have here at the big level and able to make moves off of it.
Those guys, I'm sure, would love to get out on the playing field. It seems like the lower levels have been struggling to find playable surfaces here lately, and that kind of leads into Sheldon here today. They're a team that's playing a stretch of their season where they've got a lot of games, and some of that's been dictated by the weather on having to move things around. When you got to shuffle stuff like that, as a coach, what's the mindset when you get into those kind of periods? Because you're kind of just taking it day by day and figuring the plan out as you go.
Right, that's exactly right, and we're not immune to it. We got our doubleheader push with Grants Pass, and then last season we played through a ton of scheduling difficulties, I'll say, and those are tough situations, but at the same time, you can't really do anything about it when it's weather related. You're just kind of bound by that, and hopefully weather begins to turn here soon, I hope, and give you a chance to get those games in and get back on track and back on schedule. Eventually that's going to happen, but when you're going through it, it's a tough deal, playing on days you don't normally play and not having a practice time, and the fields are wet, and it's a tough situation, but all of us in the Southwest Conference and in the state actually, have to get through that and have to play through that one way or another. And that's unfortunately the game of baseball. You've got to have weather that you can play in, and once again we're fortunate here to have the surface we have, and a lot of places don't have that, so we're count ourselves fortunate for that to get our games in, and that's a big deal to stay on schedule.
It definitely puts baseball, softball, the spring sports in a very unique setting that most other sports don't typically have to deal with. Today you guys take on Sheldon, and a team that's always competitive in the conference, always has a lot of talent, and they return a number of guys from last year that earned all conference honors and played big, I was going to say minutes, but played big innings for them last year. What do you see on the other side out of Sheldon today?
All the same, very athletic, very skilled baseball club, and they had a very good club club last year, and they played well late and played deep into the playoffs and had a good run. But like you said, they lost some players off that group, but returned some players as well. So we'll expect the same from them. From Sheldon, they'll be solid and a good club, and we're excited for the opportunity to get on the field here today with them. And hopefully the weather continues to hold for us here today, and I hope it does, to give ourselves a chance to play.
Just have to dodge a few raindrops.
That's
best
right.
of luck to you out there
Again.
today.
Thanks, Joey.
Yep.
Thanks.
That is head coach of the Roseburg Indians, Troy Thompson, joining us here. It is 50 degrees with clouds overhead. Some sun was just poking through moments ago. We might see that off and on throughout tonight's broadcast as we get ready to go with Roseburg baseball. We'll go ahead and take our final 2-minute break of the pregame show. This has been the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Back with a look at the matchup and your starting lineups as we get ready for first pitch here from Champion Car Wash Field in Roseburg on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google-certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate! Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with a news review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Back here at Champion Car Wash Field, it's time now to take a look at our starting lineups for today's matchup. As we get ready for this one, head coach Josh Riley meeting out at home plate along with head coach Troy Thompson and today's umpires. Coach Riley's lineup for the Sheldon Irish at 5-7 on the season, 3-3 in conference play. It'll be Cade Welch, the shortstop, leading things off, followed by Nolan Miller, today's starting pitcher for Sheldon. Rylan Detzler, the second baseman, bats third, followed by third baseman John Mueller. In the 5 spot is Ty Burnham, the right fielder. In left field, batting 6 is Hunter Lansden. At first base, batting 7th, Rocco Graziano. In the 8 position is center fielder E.J. Peterson. And then at catcher, you've got Asher Olson to round out the starting 9 for the Irish. As the coaches will shake hands and we get just about ready to go for today's matchup. The Sheldon Irish coming off of a loss yesterday against South Medford, 1-0. The final score there, it was Cade Welch on the mound for the complete game for the Irish, throwing 84 pitches. That makes him unavailable for today's game. We'll not be seeing him throw. Welch will be playing at shortstop instead, but he takes a loss in that 1-0 defeat against South Medford. A tough one there for the Irish. Prior to that, Sheldon did sweep a Southwest Conference doubleheader against South Eugene on Saturday over the weekend. In that matchup, it was Ryland Detzler as well as Hunter Lansden that pitched in those matchups to help get Sheldon the sweep. I believe Nolan Miller also threw a little bit in that, but is completely available for today's matchup as the starting pitcher for the Irish. For Roseburg defensively, it'll be James Coleman on the mound for the Tribe here today. James Coleman, the right-hander, comes into today's matchup. He's thrown 8 innings total this season. A 2-0 record for him. He's got a 3.50 ERA, 11 strikeouts, and 3 walks in those 8 innings of work. His battery mate behind the plate is Parker Burke, the senior. At first base, senior Evan Corbin. At second base, senior Jordan White. At third base is sophomore Jake Johnson. And at shortstop is junior Brooks Avery. In the outfield from left to right, you've got seniors across the board in Hunter Fullerton, Eli Jacobs, and Jace Wilder. Your starting alignment for the Roseburg defense. You might have noticed no Austin Takahashi in the lineup today for Roseburg. Takahashi still dealing with a hamstring injury. They're being extra cautious with that. The hope is that he will be back, though, soon, and so they get ready for that by just taking it a little easy for him. Don't want to push things too hard. Those hamstring injuries can be very difficult to get through. They just kind of linger sometimes. So no Takahashi today. He missed the second game of a doubleheader on Saturday for Roseburg against South Medford. They swept that doubleheader. That was the last action for Roseburg, was on Saturday. Have had a couple of days off. And so Takahashi will miss his second game. That's big. He's the leading hitter for this Roseburg team and bats at the leadoff position, plays at the shortstop position, and does a great job there. But he will be missed while he deals with that injury. Cade Welch will stand in for Sheldon to lead off today's ball game. First pitch of the contest is a foul ball off the bat of the hitter who tried to duck out of the way and didn't get the bat down. It'll be an 0-1 count for Welch. That one looked like it was heading right to the head of Cade Welch, but he didn't drop the bat. That's why they always tell you, drop the bat if you're ducking out of the way. Breaking ball stays a little elevated for Coleman, and it's a 1-1 count. That's a bit surprising there. Welch, I think, looked baffled that happened as well. 1-1 pitch from Coleman. Bounces outside. 2 balls and a strike. 50 degrees at first pitch here in Roseburg. There's some dark clouds off in the distance. We saw some raindrops as warm-ups were kind of going on, but other than that, it's been, kind of off and on, some raindrops here and there, but for the most part, not a huge deluge of water today. 2-1 pitch, low. Count goes 3-1 for Coleman. Not very breezy today. In fact, really no wind to speak of. So 3-1 for Coleman. And there is a walk to start things off. That at-bat goes 1 pitch longer than it needed to. Cade Welch with that accidental foul ball getting strike 1 against him. But other than that, for Coleman, nothing finding the strike zone there to lead off the ball game. So heading down to first goes Cade Welch with a leadoff walk. It brings up Nolan Miller, a left-handed batter. With a man at first and nobody out, Coleman works out of the stretch looking for a double play ball here. He does fire a first pitch, strike 1. Nolan Miller, also a left-handed thrower, it looks like. So Roseburg will be seeing the lefty on the mound in the bottom of the first. 0-1 pitch. And a balk is called. They say that Coleman kind of jiggled his throwing arm, I guess. The umpire, his motion was just that Coleman kind of wiggled his throwing arm as he was set and didn't start his motion to the plate fast enough. So they get him on that. A balk call to move the runner into scoring position. 0-1 pitch now to Miller. A chance to try and put the Irish on top early. 1-1 as the pitch misses high and away. Cade Welch, after the leadoff walk, is out at second base. 1-1 delivery for Miller. high and away. Nolan Miller, a second-team All-League selection last year for the Southwest Conference. Got that honor at first base. Listed as an outfielder this year, though. Pitcher, outfielder. 2-1, the count. Fouled away, Miller. Can't square that one up. Coleman able to fight his way back into the at-bat. It's been a busy stretch of the season for this Sheldon team, playing their 6th game in 7 days. The first 5 of those games, they've gone 2-3. 2-2 pitch here for Coleman. Ground ball chopper right side. It's Evan Corbin who will flip it to Coleman. They get the out at first. Will not be a sacrifice opportunity for Miller.
Next batter, second baseman, number 8.
But up to third base does go Cade Welch, so he is 90 feet closer to home with 1 away. And it brings up Rylan Detzler, the second baseman, another left-handed batter. First pitch. That ball lifted, but shallow into left field. Coming in, Hunter Fullerton will make the catch. The runner fakes as if he's going. It's cut off by third baseman Jake Johnson. And that's a big out for Roseburg. Gets it to 2 away here in the first inning. First pitch swinging for Detzler. Flies out to left field. 2 down, and John Mueller will bat. Mueller is the third baseman. James Coleman 1 out away from getting through this first inning. Started out a little shaky, but has settled his way in. A 1-0 count for Mueller. The senior gets hit on the pitch. That one inside. Coleman trying to own the inside corner. Puts Mueller on with 2 away. Runners at first and third with 2 down. Sun starting to shine down on Champion Car Wash Field. All artificial turf here, which gives us the kind of reliability of being able to play even when things have been wet. Ty Burnham will bat, another lefty in the lineup for the Irish. Strike on the corner, outer half of the plate for Coleman. It's like time to bring out the sunglasses out there. That sun just absolutely fired right up like someone flipped a switch. 0-1 delivery for Burnham. He lines that out towards right field. In the sun field out there, Jace Wilder plays that one easily. Little hop at the end as that ball carried, but Wilder no problem getting in front of that. And the Irish will strand 2. No runs on no hits, no Roseburg errors, 2 men left on base. We're through a half inning. Roseburg coming up to bat on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Defensively for the Irish.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Bottom of the first inning, Roseburg coming up to bat. Head coach Troy Thompson in his 21st year with Roseburg baseball will have a lineup that features Eli Jacobs leading things off, playing in center field. Shortstop Brooks Avery batting second. Chase Wilder, the right fielder, will bat third. Evan Corbin, the first baseman, batting cleanup, followed by Jake Johnson, the third baseman. Parker Burke, the catcher, batting sixth. At second base, batting seventh, is Jordan White. Starting pitcher, James Coleman, bats eighth. And Hunter Fullerton in left field will be the number 9 batter for Roseburg. Eli Jacobs stands in. The first pitch from the lefty. Nolan Miller is in for a strike as we're underway in the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless ball game so far. Another strike in as Nolan Miller out there is just peppering the strike zone to start. His 0-2 pitch to Jacobs is low. Nolan Miller, left-hander, junior. His 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. And a strikeout to get things underway for the Irish. Jacobs goes down with the strikeout in the leadoff position. Eli Jacobs, in his last game, had 2 hits in that leadoff spot. First pitch swinging for Brooks Avery, fouled away. Roseburg sweeping that doubleheader against South Medford, 3-2 and 5-0. Quickly an 0-2 count once again for Miller as he faces Brooks Avery. And there's strike 3 looking. Avery goes down with the bat on his shoulder. Back-to-back strikeouts for Miller to start out the day. Just 2 down, and it brings up Jace Wilder. Miller looking to try and make quick work of Roseburg here in the first. Gets a foul ball back by Jace Wilder for strike 1. So far, the lefty out there. It's not taking a lot of time in between pitches. And he has been attacking the zone. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 for Wilder. The 0-2 delivery is in the dirt. Well, left-handers always tough for high school batters, it feels. I mean, tough for a lot of hitters. 1-2, ground ball up the middle. Well, not tough enough. Jace Wilder will get the first hit of the ball game, a single up the middle. And Roseburg will have a man on with 2 outs. Wilder showing. Nolan Miller's not untouchable. That one went right back up the middle, rolled right up over the top of the mound and right past second base on the shortstop side. High for ball 1 to Evan Corbin, the first baseman for the Tribe. Wasn't anything too fancy there for Wilder, just right back up the box, rolled one into center field. Strike 1 against Corbin, the cleanup hitter. 1-1 delivery with a man at first. Inside. Roseburg with that single, forcing Miller to face a little bit extra here. See if they can rattle him a little bit in the first inning. It's still very early. Corbin sends one in the air, but back behind home, foul. Off of the roof here behind home plate at Champion Car Wash Field. That's where most of the fans reside here this afternoon. 2-2 pitch, strike 3 called on the inside corner. So Roseburg goes down, 3 strikeouts in the first inning for Nolan Miller. 2 of them are strikeouts looking. Roseburg unable to do anything with the 2-out single by Jace Wilder. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the 1 man left on. We're through 1 inning, scoreless. Top of the second on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
First batter for Sheldon at the top of the second inning.
It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters coming up for the Sheldon Irish. Hunter Lansden will lead things off against James Coleman in this scoreless ball game. Off-speed pitch from Coleman misses inside to start off things against Lansden, the left fielder. Coleman getting some help from the defense to finish things off and leave 2 men stranded on base in the first inning for Sheldon. It's a ground ball, third base side, picked up by Jake Johnson. He's got time to fire across the diamond. That'll retire Lansden. 1 away. That was just a routine ground ball to third that just, that whole play just seemed like it was moving in slow motion with how kind of routine and how it just seemed like everything just kind of progressed slowly there. First pitch, a strike called against Rocco Graziano, the first baseman. Just Johnson had to wait on it, then he got it and just took his time and was able to throw across the diamond. It's a ground ball, a little harder hit this time left side, fielded by Johnson. That one moves a bit quicker, and there are 2 away. This time, Johnson having to range to his left, fields that glove side. Quick change to the throwing hand, and then it's across the diamond over to Evan Corbin for the out. E.J. Peterson will bat with 2 down. Nobody on base for the Irish. First pitch, strike 1 to Peterson, the center fielder. The 0-1 pitch. That ball lifted towards center field, charging in, now setting up underneath it. Eli Jacobs there for the out. Quick 1-2-3 inning defense helping out James Coleman as he is able to retire the Irish in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the second inning, scoreless between the Irish and the Indians on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
In baseball, home plate is always 60 feet 6 inches from the mound. But in life, sometimes your home plate needs to move. If you're planning to move, contact BTB Moving for help. BTB Moving is a labor-only company offering statewide services such as packing and unpacking, loading and unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. BTB Moving is an affordable veteran-owned company. Call 541-315-0122 for help with your next move. BTB Moving for all your moving needs. Sunshine. We're hoping we see more of that coming up here through the rest of the week. Roseburg will be in Eugene at Willamette coming up on Saturday, hoping that the weather will cooperate there. Right now, we've got some sunshine here in Roseburg as Jake Johnson will hit a comebacker to the mound off the glove for Miller, and he rifles one over to first baseman Rocco Graziano to retire Jake Johnson on the first pitch of the bottom of the second. Welcome you back here to Champion Car Wash Field. Jake Johnson, the third baseman, leads things off with a ground out, 1 away for Roseburg. First pitch swinging, that ball towards right field. That could be trouble. That's going to get over the right fielder's head, down the line for Parker Burke. He's heading into second base, and he'll be in with the head-first slide. A double with 1 out for Roseburg. Burke going opposite field down that right field line. That ball well struck. Didn't just get lucky to sneak it inside the line. That ball well hit down the right field side. And, of course, Burnham, the right fielder, not playing much towards the line. So that ball carried a long way away. Long run to go. And Burnham tracks it down as Burke slides into second base. So a man in scoring position for Roseburg with one out here in the bottom of the second inning. The lefty on the mound, Nolan Miller, now faces Jordan White. Swings through the first pitch. Courtesy runner will come in for the catcher. Believe that's Braden Russell. We'll double check here. The 0-1 for White. That ball is lifted up and will get out of play for strike two. Yeah, Russell, the runner out at second base for Parker Burke. One out, one on, and an 0-2 count for Jordan White. On the mound, Miller delivers. Breaking ball high. Roseburg baseball here on The Score today, brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. The 1-2 pitch for White. RBI opportunity for him here. That pitch bounces in, and it's a 2-2 count. Jordan White this season comes in with 8 RBI, tied for the team lead. He's got an opportunity to add to that total right now. 2-2 pitch with Braden Russell running for Parker Burke at second. Pitch bounces in. Russell will hold out at second base. Count goes full for Jordan White. Behind the dish, Asher Olson makes sure that ball didn't get too far out of his reach and was able to hold Russell out at second. Full count pitch. White goes down at the bottom of the zone to foul that one off and keep it alive. Jordan White back in against the lefty Nolan Miller with Russell out at second after a one-out double by Parker Burke. Trying to get a run on the board here in the bottom of the second. Again, the full count pitch from Miller. The lefty kicks and fires. That ball in the air out towards center field. Going to hang up there a while. The catch made by Peterson. And that will retire the second out. Unable to move Russell from second base. He'll stay there as James Coleman will come up to hit. 2 away, James Coleman, the starting pitcher for Roseburg, will stand in. Another righty versus lefty matchup. Coleman takes high on the fastball for ball one. Roseburg without a lefty in the lineup today. Austin Takahashi's the lone left-handed hitter for Roseburg, but out with his injury today. The 1-0 pitch, strike one to Coleman. James Coleman in 6 at-bats, 1 hit so far this season. Does have 2 RBI, looking to add to that. A 1-1 pitch for Nolan Miller. Fouled away. Fouled back to the backstop. A ball and 2 strikes. Trying to help his own cause here. James Coleman against Nolan Miller. Long look to second for Miller, now delivers to the plate. And that pitch inside. Sheldon was thinking strike 3 there. James Coleman did get a win in his last outing. Came on in relief late in the game and was able to pick up a comeback victory for Roseburg. 2-2 pitch. Swings through it for strike 3, and that finishes off the side. Coleman goes down. 4th strikeout in the game for Nolan Miller. Leaves a man stranded at second as Roseburg gets a 1-out double by Parker Burke. That's all they can manage. No runs on one hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We go to the top of the third, scoreless between Roseburg and Sheldon on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
From a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to. By hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations. Top of the Hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Scoreless through the first 2 innings of today's ball game. Roseburg Baseball on the Score is brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. 9-hitter Asher Olson will dig in for his first at-bat of the day. James Coleman on the mound working for Roseburg, misses low and outside for ball 1. Starting to feel like a little bit of a nicer day at the ballpark with the sun shining down. Coleman bounces one in for a 2-0 count. Just seems like the weather system right now not really moving that much. There's just a ton of dark clouds that have been just hovering out in the distance for quite some time. But thankfully here at the ballpark, we've got a little bit of break in those clouds. Down low on the 2-0 offering from Coleman to the 9-hitter Asher Olson. And it's a 3-0 count. Olson, a sophomore for the Irish. 3-0 pitch. He'll take down the middle for strike 1. Do have some college baseball coming up tonight. Some non-conference matchups for Oregon State and Oregon here this evening. 3-1 is ball 4. Walk issued by Coleman, his second of the ball game. Man on to lead things off in the third. A walk to Cade Welch to lead off the first inning. Got Sheldon a man in scoring position, but they left him stranded at third. Cade Welch will bat now with a leadoff man once again with a walk. James Coleman will work out of the stretch. Breaking ball hits the outside corner. Tonight, the Oregon State Beavers taking on the Gonzaga Bulldogs. They got rained out yesterday. They'll play today up at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Runner not going. They pull the shortstop over, and the ball is laced into left field. So a base hit for Cade Welch. There's the first hit for the Irish. Runners at first and second. And that's exactly how they wanted to kind of draw that up, I think. Asher Olson at first base. Let's double check. I don't know if they brought in a courtesy runner. They did. Got a new runner over there for the catcher. But he faked as if he was going to run, and that drew the shortstop towards second, left a big gap. And there is a line drive shot into center field. That should bring in one. The runner going for 3. The throw goes through, but not in time. And it is a single by Nolan Miller to drive in 1. He ends up at second base on the throw. Going first to third is Welch. Gets in just ahead of the tag, and scoring from second base was Quincy Peterson, running for the catcher, Asher Olson. So back-to-back singles here in the third inning for Sheldon, their second time through the lineup, and they are able to pull ahead 1-0. Defense will pull in with runners at second and third and nobody out. First pitch is a strike for Coleman against the lefty Rylan Detzler. Nolan Miller's RBI single was a line drive just right over the head of Brooks Avery, the shortstop for Roseburg. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed for strike 2 to Detzler. Oh, 2 count here. Coleman needing an out big time. 2 runners in scoring position. His 0-2 pitch, just outside. Detzler, a senior. Right-handed thrower, left-handed batter. Stands back in with the 1-2 count. Detzler will lift one to center field. Might be an RBI opportunity on the sac fly. Catch made by Jacobs. He throws to the plate. The runner will hold at third. And Eli Jacobs, who has just been an absolute rifle in center field, he holds the runners on a fly ball to shallow medium center field. It wasn't super short, but it wasn't super deep, definitely. 1 away. Sheldon not risking more than they had to on that fly ball to center field. Throw wasn't necessarily right on target by Jacobs, but it was close. Line drive gets into left field past third baseman Jake Johnson. Hunter Fullerton's going to throw to the plate. The throw cut off. Jake Johnson cuts that one off at third. It had a chance to maybe make it to home plate, but it is caught, and that eliminates any chance at the tag at home. 2 runs come in for Sheldon. Man at first with 1 away is John Mueller on his RBI single, 2 RBI single. Help extend the Sheldon lead. He's running. Throw to second base off target. And quickly, Mueller, the third baseman, gets himself into scoring position. It's a strike at the plate for Ty Burnham. Welch scored on that single by Mueller. So did Miller. 3 runs total in here in the top of the third. First base, high chopper to first. A single, base. The ball in play to first base, taken by Evan Corbin, who takes it to the bag himself for the out. 2 down, up the third. Goes Mueller. Two down. Hunter Lansden will bat. With a man at third. Strike 1 on the pitch. Here in the third inning, it's 3 runs on 3 hits. Nolan Miller with an RBI single. John Mueller with a 2 RBI single. This ball out to left field, lifted to Hunter Fullerton, drifting back underneath it to make the catch. 7 hitters come to the plate for Sheldon in the top of the third. They get 3 runs on 3 hits, no Roseburg errors, and 1 man left on base. It's 3-0 Sheldon as we go to the bottom of the third inning on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Well, Sheldon grabs the lead here as we are making our way into today's ball game. 3 runs in the top of the third. Roseburg will look to see their second time through the lineup if they can do some damage against Nolan Miller. First pitch to Hunter Fullerton is in for strike 1. Fullerton, the last batter to face Miller for the first time. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. Fullerton missed the 2 games on Saturday, had another commitment that he had to be at, so he wasn't here as he fouls one off, stays alive on the 0-2 pitch. Back with the team and back starting in left field. Trying to get something started for Roseburg in the third. The 0-2 pitch from Miller bounces in. So mentioned college baseball coming up today. Oregon State at home against Gonzaga. They are about to get started at 5:30 tonight. Once we get done with this Roseburg game, we'll go to coverage of the Beavers. The 1-2 pitch popped up back behind home. Stays a 1-2 count. Expecting that to be probably between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. Somewhere in that range. As a swing and a miss on the ball in the dirt. Up the throw to first. Just in time. Asher Olsen gets it to Rocco Graziano. So strikeout. 5th of the ball game for Nolan Miller. There's 1 out as it brings up top of the order Eli Jacobs, who struck out swinging in the first. He sends one right field side foul. That'll hit off of the Newell family hitting facility out that direction. So we expect, let's see, Beavers probably around 6 o'clock. We'll get them on the air, and that'll probably maybe be second, third inning, somewhere in that range. 1-1. Non-leaguer there for Oregon State, which rallied back to take the series against the Oregon Ducks over the weekend. Jacobs fouls off another pitch, out of play, strike 2. We got the chance to talk about Jay Stoffel's dominant start on Friday. It looked like the Ducks were in good position in that series after the win on Friday, but then Oregon State rallied back. Line drive out towards right field, caught by Burnham in the sun field out there. It can be difficult to play when the sun starts getting to about this position on the day. Got to really deal with it out in right field, second and first base. But Burnham out there in right had no problem managing that line drive shot by Eli Jacobs. Strike on the first pitch to Brooks Avery, who struck out looking in the first. He digs back in with 2 outs and nobody on. 0-1 pitch, grounder, gets through the gap at short. Avery will get a base hit. And for Brooks Avery, that extends a hitting streak for him. He picks up the 3rd hit of the game for Roseburg. Snuck that ground ball, just a worm burner there through the left side for a single. Brooks Avery now with a 5-game hit streak as he gets the 2-out single. Brings up Jace Wilder. He fouls one off. Wilder had the first hit of the game for Roseburg on a ground ball back up the middle. But Oregon State, they rallied after that loss to Stoffel and the Ducks on Friday. They won the last 2 games of that series. And were able to take that rivalry matchup. Beavers looking to try and continue that as they take on Gonzaga tonight. U of O also in action tonight. They are just getting underway. A 1-1 pitch, pickoff throw to first. 1-1 the count with 2 away. Bottom of the third, Roseburg trailing 3-0. Nolan Miller on the mound. Wilder fouls off another one for strike 2. While we wait to resume play, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Baseball on The Score. One-two pitch, a breaking ball sits at the top of the zone for strike 3, and Wilder will go down looking. As we are through 3 innings of play, it's 3-0. The Sheldon Irish in front of the Roseburg Indians. Back with the top of the 4th after this on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you can be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Rocco Graziano.
Graziano, Peterson, and Olsen, your three hitters due up for the Irish as we start the top of the fourth inning. 3-0 lead for Sheldon. On top of the Roseburg Indians, James Coleman out there throwing for Roseburg. Today's game brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Coleman falls behind a 2-0 count to start things off for Graziano, who is 0 for 1 today with a ground out to third back in the second inning. 2-0 pitch. Coleman's pitch misses low and inside. 3 runs on 3 hits in the third inning. The difference right now for Sheldon on top of Roseburg. Irish trying to get above 500 in league play. There is a 3-0 pitch that gets to the backstop for ball 4. Leadoff walks in the first, third, and now the fourth inning for Coleman. Leadoff walks are... That's been the spot that he has issued the walk in every walk that he's issued. It's always been the leadoff man. 3 walks total for Coleman so far today. Top of the order. E.J. Patterson, the 8-hitter, will bat. And he takes in the dirt for ball 1. And Roseburg now has some activity going on. Not in the bullpen just yet, but got somebody up using the elastic bands to start getting the muscles moving. Peterson flew out to center field his first time. He'll take low and outside as Coleman misses. 2-0 count. Brevin Harrison, the man getting loose. And out to the mound goes a visit for Parker Burke. So we were talking about the college baseball games going on tonight. Oregon taking on University of San Francisco. The Dons in Eugene at PK Park. That game just getting underway. Try and keep tabs on that one. We talked about Jay Stoffel and his performance last week. Coming up tomorrow night on DC Sports Spotlight, you can tune in to hear from Jay Stoffel. He'll be one of our 3 guests on the evening, talking local sports. 2-0 pitch from Coleman, bounces in out at first base. Graziano holds there. 3-0 count for E.J. Peterson. Jay Stoffel will join us tomorrow night. The program starts at 6 o'clock here on The Score, or you can listen on the 541 Radio app or at 541radio.com. 3-0 pitch, ball 4. That is back-to-back walks for Coleman to start things off here in the fourth inning. Not the ideal way to get things going here.
Next batter, number 3, Asher Olsen.
Brings up the 9-hitter Asher Olsen, who drew a walk and scored the first run of the ball game in the third. Well, the courtesy runner did for the catcher. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Roseburg wants to see if they can get a double play ball here. First pitch, strike 1 for Coleman. Excited to talk to Jace tomorrow. That was a heck of a performance on Friday for him. DC Sports Spotlight is presented by Mountain Mike's Pizza here in Roseburg. Again, it starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow night here on The Score. Squaring to bunt. Down the third base side, fielded by Johnson. Nobody home at second. And Roseburg, once again, bunt defense. Bit of an issue. Olsen lays down the bunt, third base side. That moves everybody up 90 feet. Bases are loaded with nobody out, and the dangerous top of the order coming up. And that's going to prompt a visit to the mound for pitching coach Zach Mandera, former Roseburg Indian himself. That's the 4th hit of the game for Sheldon. Roseburg with 3 hits in the ball game, 1 in every inning. But I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see here. Yes, no, yes. So 2 of the 3 have come with 2 outs. I was going to almost say that all 3 of their hits have come with 2 outs, but a double by Parker Burke came with 1 out in the second. So Jay Stoff will be on the show tonight. Ducks baseball tonight, not on the radio due to their earlier start time, but we'll try to keep you updated on scores from that. And again, we'll have Beavers baseball coming up tonight here on The Score once we get done with Roseburg baseball. We're in the top of the 4th inning of our contest here. 3-0 lead. Sheldon Irish in front.
Top of the order now for Sheldon.
Brings up Cade Welch, who had a single and scored a run in the 3rd. Roseburg's defense will have to play in at the edge of the infield grass. Of course, meaning that figuratively, not literally, because it is all artificial turf. At the plate, Welch waiting on the first pitch. And it beans him for an RBI. So Sheldon will take a 4-0 lead. Still nobody out in the 4th inning. Welch has gotten on base for a 3rd time. Graziano scores from first. Peterson goes to 3rd. I believe the courtesy runner for the catcher probably going to be, yep, that is still the same guy from the first time, Quincy Peterson. He moves up to 2nd base. Another visit to the mound after 1 pitch. Zach Mandera back out there to the mound, and we're going to get a call to the pen. It's brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. New man on the bump for Roseburg. When we come back, James Coleman's day is done pitching-wise. He'll stay in the game as the DH. New man will face Nolan Miller when we come back after a 60-second timeout on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Junior Brevin Harrison will make his 4th appearance for Roseburg this season as he takes over for James Coleman. This call to the pen is brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. James Coleman goes 3+ innings. Doesn't get an out here in the 4th, so only gets credit for the 3 innings, but he did pitch in the 4th. Fortunately, he leaves the bases loaded. First pitch, a ground ball off of first baseman. The first base umpire calling a dead ball. And the so there's an out. The ball, I thought it went off of Evan Corbin, but it went off the runner, I believe, at first, which was Cade Welch. So if it hits the runner in fair territory, he is out. They called the ball dead pretty quickly there. And the umpire's now meeting to determine what happens here with that dead ball. I'm not 100% sure either. Nolan Miller was at the plate. So they came to a conclusion on what to do, but didn't really explain it to everybody. So Nolan Miller, the pitcher, gets on at first. Cade Welch will be the first out here in the 4th inning, and the bases remain loaded. Everybody else stayed put. I guess, is that runner's interference? I have to look that one up when I get home. First pitch now to the 3-hitter, Rylan Detzler. He flew out to center his last time up. He bats with the bases loaded and 1 away. Takes high and away from Brevin Harrison, who has come in relief and is looking to try and get Roseburg out of the jam. 1 run in so far here in the 4th, but bases loaded. A ball out to left field, twisting and turning. Fullerton underneath it, catches. Will throw this ball to third base to keep the rest of the runners where they are. It'll be a sac fly and an RBI for Ryan Detzler. 2 down. Scoring was E.J. Peterson. It's 5-0. Sheldon in front of Roseburg. Runners at first and second with 2 away. John Mueller will bat.
Next batter, number 11, John Mueller.
First pitch, high for ball 1 to Mueller, who had a 2-run single in the 3rd. Also been hit by a pitch. Both of those at-bats against James Coleman, facing Brevin Harrison, who comes on in relief. 1-0 pitch from Harrison. That ball fouled in the netting down the first base side for strike 1. One pitch. Foul ball again for Mueller. And the cleanup hitter is 1 for 2, or 1 and 2 is the count for him. 1 strike away from trying to get through this 4th inning for Brevin Harrison. His 1-2 pitch. Fouled off again. So an out when a runner was hit by a sharply hit ball by Nolan Miller, getting the runner going between first and second. Hit it off of Cade Welch. Ground ball up the middle, diving attempt. Avery can't get it at short, out to center field. 1 run comes in, the throw goes to third, and not in time. Another run will score for Sheldon. They've got him on the corners with 2 down, and it's 6-0 for the Irish. That is the 3rd RBI of the day for John Mueller. Scoring from second was Peterson, the courtesy runner. First to third for Nolan Miller. Check swing, third base side, taken on the short hop, but misplayed by Johnson. And the inning will continue, 7-0 Sheldon. Ty Burnham gets on safely.
Batter number 12, Hunter Langston.
So that is the first error for Roseburg defensively. First pitch swinging for Hunter Lansden, the 9th hitter to come to the plate. Fouls it away for strike 1. Well, this will be, right now, one of the biggest deficits I think Roseburg's faced this season. 3 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th for the Irish. A pitch high, 1-1. Lansden is 0 for 2 in the ball game. 1-1 from Harrison. That ball is fouled away. Strike 2. That ball clipping off of both, I think, Parker Burke and our home plate umpire. Yeah, we're going to give the umpire a breather here. Today's game brought to you by Flyaway Travel. When you're ready to take that dream trip, contact the travel experts at Travel Leader, Flyaway Travel. Make sure that you're You have an agent in your corner in these complicated travel times. That's Flyway Travel, 672-5701. Video streaming of today's ball game brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. You can find us at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score. When you're there on our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. Then you will make sure that you're not going to miss out on any of our future broadcasts. You also have the direct link then to go right back to our page to find any past broadcasts you might have missed that you'd like to watch back again. That's 1490 The Score on YouTube. All right, after the break, 1-2 pitch here for Harrison. That ball fouled off, and that one gets Parker Burke. He'll walk one off. At the plate, Hunter Lansden beating everybody up behind home. And Burke is, he's got the glove off, he's got the helmet off, and now he is shaking out his throwing hand just a little bit. And Lindsay, the athletic trainer, will come out. And now, obviously, the injury to Takahashi was big for Roseburg. An injury to Parker Burke would be significant as well, as Roseburg, they're just not very deep at catcher this season. I believe their backup catcher is right fielder Jace Wilder. So hopefully nothing big here for Parker. And that is just one big thing that can derail every team's season, is just injuries are always the thing you're trying to avoid. Roseburg got bit with the injury bug against South Medford on Saturday with Takahashi going down, and boy, we sure do hope that it does not continue here today with Parker Burke. They are taking a long look at his right hand. At the plate, it's a 1-2 count for Hunter Lansden, and Burke walks back to pick up his catcher's gear. Roseburg's got somebody heading into the bullpen. That is Braden Russell and Dane St. Clair are both headed over there to get loose, and I think that's more of a possible defensive situation rather than a pitching change. If Burke had to come out of the game. He's going to stay in. And Hunter Lansden at the plate. He's been beating everybody up with foul balls. The 1-2 pitch to him. Just inside. I almost thought that was going to get him. 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lansden at the plate, 0 for 2 today. Harrison misses low. The runners are going. And you've got runners off the bag between second and third. You got 2 runners at second base. They thought it was a walk. It wasn't. It was only 2-2. Tag out. There it is. End of the inning. So Roseburg will get out of the 4th inning on a base running error. Third base coach for Sheldon is wondering why that wasn't a walk. It was only a 2-2 count. We're waiting to find out here. I had it at 2-2. As it would stand, it would be the end of the top of the 4th inning on a base running error. Hunter Lansden was at the plate with a 2-2 count. Josh Riley, the coach for Sheldon, is out trying to argue with the Sheldon, with the Roseburg dugout. I had it down as ball 3. Well, now we get a moment to wait and see what gets figured out here. I had it as ball 3. And I don't believe that up here we're not the official book up here in the booth. I had it as 3-2 as they're arguing here. Josh Riley, the coach for Sheldon, making a plea that was ball 4. And I think Sheldon's going to lose this argument. We're going to go ahead and take a 60-second timeout as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
In baseball, home plate is always 60 feet 6 inches from the mound. But in life, sometimes your home plate needs to move. If you're planning to move, contact BTB Moving for help. BTB Moving is a labor-only company offering statewide services such as packing and unpacking, loading and unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. BTB Moving is an affordable veteran-owned company. Call 541-315-0122 for help with your next move. BTB Moving for all your moving needs. Well, a bit of a controversial end to the top of the 4th inning there as a disputed ball 4 call.
I say alpha wolf because alpha like a furry.
But nonetheless, that ends the 4th inning as we go to the bottom, or ends the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. As the score stands right now, one, two, three, 4 runs. I got it 7. Yeah, 4 runs came in. So it was 7-0 our score on the 4 runs scored there in the top of the 4th inning. And tagged out, let's see, that goes 2, 5. Let's say 4, I think, maybe. Trying to keep score. We got a player late onto the field for Sheldon, apparently. Heading out to center field is E.J. Peterson. So Hunter Lansden was at the plate. He'll get to start things off in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch by Nolan Miller outside for ball 1. So that was 4 runs in for Sheldon in that top of the 4th on just 2 hits, 1 Roseburg error, and 1 runner left on base. 2-0 count. At the plate, Evan Corbin lifts one towards right field. Going back is Burnham. He will turn and square that one up as he makes the catch, trailing into deep right field for the first out, retiring Evan Corbin. Just the second time through the lineup here, midway through the lineup for Roseburg. Jake Johnson will bat with 1 out and nobody on. First pitch misses, ball 1 to Johnson, who grounded back to the mound his first time up. 1-0 pitch, Johnson this time out towards right field, shallow towards the line. Burnham makes the adjustment, 2 down. And that brings up Parker Burke. Burke with a banged up throwing hand after getting a foul ball hit off of him in that last half. That was the other thing. There was just so many delays in that last at-bat. As the first pitch quickly on Burke to the right side, foul. On the mound, Nolan Miller wastes no time in between his pitches. 7-0, Sheldon in front of Roseburg here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Roseburg up to bat, 2 down and nobody on a couple of fly ball outs to right field. The 0-1, Burke takes strike 2. Home crowd doesn't like it. Nobody's going to be happy leaving the ballpark here today. The 0-2 is inside. Burke had a double to right field in the 2nd inning. A 1-2 pitch for Miller. That ball softly hit towards center field. Has a chance to drop in. It will. Burke will get his second hit of the game. Sneaks in a bloop single to center field. A 2-out single. Those are familiar. Roseburg's had 3 of them in this ball game. They've got 4 hits total. That brings in the courtesy runner, Braden Russell. Jordan White will bat. First pitch fouled away. White flew out to center field in the second inning. Oh, 1 pitch from Miller. Another foul ball for White. 0-2 count. The pitch, high. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Jordan White here in the bottom of the 4th. 7-0 lead for Sheldon. Another foul ball as White just can't quite square one up. At first base, Braden Russell running for Parker Burke, who got his second hit of the ball game. A 1-2 delivery. Inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Miller trying to finish it off here. His 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Roseburg trailing 7-0 against Sheldon on 541radio.com and on the Score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Hunter Lansden will start things off for Sheldon. He was at the plate when the inning came to an end in the top of the 4th on a base running out for the Irish. Confusion ensued. A 1-0 pitch. He'll swing through it for strike 1. Brevin Harrison on the mound for Roseburg. Here in the top of the 5th inning, Sheldon leading big 7-0. The 1-1 pitch swung on. And Lansden finds himself down 1-2. I found where I think Lansden's at-bat in the 4th inning began, but he had 2 long delays in the middle of that one as a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball low and outside, a 2-2 count. Lansden fouled off 1 pitch. It hit the umpire, and they gave him a moment to kind of get better. And then he hit another foul ball that hit the catcher, Parker Burke, and they gave him a moment to get checked out. Lansden gets behind one high in the air out towards left field, towards the line in front of the warning track. That ball finally comes down, and it is Hunter Fullerton underneath it for the first out. 1 away. 0 for 3 today for Lansden. That brings up Rocco Graziano.
Next batter, number 25, Rocco Graziano.
Graziano 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. So I'll try and watch through it in between innings here, but it was a lengthy at-bat for Lansden the first time he was up there in the 4th inning. And I think that's what kind of got people maybe a little bit confused on what the count was. But I had it at 2-2 before the final pitch, which was ball 3, and then the runners thought it was ball 4, and that's what caught a runner off base for Sheldon. 2-0 count as a pitch outside. Rocco Graziano looking for maybe another walk. The 2-0 pitch, just a bit up from Brevin Harrison, and it's a 3-0 count. The 3-0 strike. James Coleman started the game for Roseburg, issued 4 walks and hit 2 batters. The extra passes definitely helping out the Irish today. 3-1, strike 2 called. And back to the plate will come Graziano after thinking he had ball 4. Full count pitch. Harrison delivers. Breaking ball stays up, and there's ball 4. Another walk issued by the Roseburg pitchers. Harrison gives up his first. 1 on, 1 out. E.J. Peterson will bat. He's 0 for 1 with a walk in the 4th inning. We have 5 hits total in this game for Sheldon. First pitch, high and inside from Harrison. 5 base hits. They've scored 7 runs. Now have 5 walks and 2 hit batters plus 1 Roseburg error. Hard hit ball left side, gets into left field. And Peterson will pick up his first hit. And that will be the second hit allowed by Brevin Harrison. Snuck that through on the left side. That puts runners at first and second with 1 away in the top of the 5th inning. Today's ball game brought to you by Roseburg Honda. Buying a car can be a hassle, but at Roseburg Honda, it's different. Customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit Roseburg Honda, where they treat you like family because they are family. Fly ball to right field for Asher Olson. That is caught. Throw all the way in. It is picked up by third baseman Jake Johnson. Is sliding into the bag goes Rocco Graziano. And that'll move 1 runner up 90 feet. 2 away. Olson flying out to right field. First out that he has made in the ball game. There's 2 down. Top of the order will bat Cade Welch. With runners on the corners. Graziano tagged and advanced on the fly ball out to right field. Welch, 1 for 1 in the game. Been hit by a pitch and walked. Had a single in the 3rd. He hits one sharply down the third base side, foul. Seven nothing. Welch digs back in. Right-handed batter. Takes a strike on the outside corner. At first base, E.J. Peterson. At third base, Rocco Graziano. See with 2 strikes if they try to do anything here. There are 2 outs. Pitch bounces, gets by Parker Burke. He will not be able to retrieve the ball in time to stop the runner from coming home. A wild pitch scores Graziano to make it 8-0 Sheldon. And coming home to score was Graziano. Peterson makes his way to second. Also makes it a 1-2 count for Cade Welch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Harrison will get the strikeout to finish off the 5th inning. Strikeout swinging for Welch. That's the first strikeout for the Irish in the ball game. And that finishes the top of the 5th inning. 1 run comes in on 1 hit. No Roseburg errors and 1 man left on base. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Roseburg trailing, looking to get some offense going against Noah Miller on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
From a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to, by hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations, top of the hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
First batter for Roseburg in the bottom of the 5th inning, number 18, James Coleman.
Roseburg baseball. We move to the bottom of the 5th, looking to try and get something started here. James Coleman will lead things off, followed by Hunter Fullerton. And then it'll be top of the order, Eli Jacobs. 0-1 count on a pitch outside. Goes to 1-1 for Coleman, who struck out back in the 2nd. Coleman staying in as the DH in the matchup. Takes low and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Had a commenter on our YouTube channel saying that he went back and watched, or they went back and watched that at-bat for Hunter Lansden and said they thought it was only ball 3 when the base running out was made. So thanks for the commenter there. 3-1 pitch here for Coleman. There's ball 4. James Coleman will take a leadoff walk for Roseburg. Coleman, starting pitcher, also stayed in as the DH, so that's why he stays in the game. And he'll draw the leadoff walk here in the 5th inning against Nolan Miller. And that is the first walk issued by Miller. He's got 7 strikeouts in the 1 walk. Man at first with nobody out. First pitch, swing and a miss for Hunter Fullerton. I've watched through. I've gotten to where it's a 1-2 count and the foul ball off of the umpire. I know there's another foul ball off of Burke. So strike in for Fullerton makes it an 0-2 count. So, yeah, I feel like it wasn't the controversy that it was made to be during the game. The 0-2 pitch to Fullerton. Umpire almost looked like he was going to ring up Fullerton. He takes inside. And the count goes to 1-2 for the 9-hitter. Miller, the lefty, delivers. Gets the swing and a miss. He's got some pickup on that pitch. Down on strikes goes Fullerton. Second strikeout for him. 8th strikeout in the game for Miller. Nolan Miller still firing some BBs. Top of the order, Eli Jacobs. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Ball got away from the catcher, but holding at first is Coleman. 0-1 count for Jacobs. Eli Jacobs looking to extend a 7-game hit streak. Needs a hit here. The 0-1. Takes a strike on the inside corner. A lot of strikes looking today for Roseburg so far. The 0-2 by Miller. Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 9 on the day for Miller. 2 away. Roseburg has had a base hit in every inning. 3 of the 4 have come with 2 outs. It'll be Brooks Avery trying to keep that going here as he fouls off the first pitch. Avery had a single in the 3rd inning, looking to pick up his 2nd hit. Parker Burke with 2 hits in the game. The 0-1 for Avery. Inside to the second baseman, actually shortstop today. One count. High, that one goes to the backstop. Coleman will break for second. Throw goes that direction and will not be there in time. Wild pitch moves James Coleman into scoring position. That is just the 2nd time today that Roseburg will have a man at second base. 2-1 delivery for Avery with 2 outs and a man at second. He hits a ground ball towards short, scooped up there. Throw over to Graziano from Cade Welch. Tires the side. Once again, Roseburg gets a man in scoring position, can't do anything with it. For the first time today, they're held without a hit in the frame. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. We go to the top of the 6th inning. 8-0 the score in favor of the Irish on 541radio.com and on the score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Roseburg Baseball on the score today is brought to you by BTB Moving, our RBI sponsor. So far, unfortunately, no RBIs for Roseburg today. That's BTB Moving. Find them on Facebook at BTB Moving. For Sheldon, Nolan Miller will lead things off. First pitch swinging, backhanded ground ball to first. Taking it himself will be Evan Corbin to retire the leadoff man for the Irish here in the 6th. Corbin makes the put out there. 1 for 4 today for Nolan Miller. 1 out with nobody on base for the Irish. BTB Moving provides labor services for your moving needs. Veteran-owned, affordable, dependable, efficient, and careful. They've got senior and veteran discounts available. Book now at 541-315-0122. Or again, find them at Facebook, BTB Moving. Strike 2 taken for Ryland Detzler. He's down the 0-2 count. Brevin Harrison on the mound. That's a line drive shot to left field. Coming in, making the catch is Hunter Fullerton, 2 down. Detzler retired for a 4th time in the ball game, but he is 0 for 3. It has a sacrifice fly in there. So 2 down. Harrison trying to get through things quickly here in the 6th inning. See if he can get Roseburg a little bit of momentum. Gets a ground ball to second. Picked up by White. A throw on the run. And it is a quick 1-2-3 inning defensively for Roseburg. They get through the top half of the 6th inning. No damage done. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Go to the bottom of the 6th on 541radio.com and on the score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Roseburg needing some offense, trailing 6-0 against the, 8-0 against the Sheldon Irish. Leading things off is number 6, Jace Wilder, who will stand in. Takes the first pitch, ball 1. Wilder is 1 for 2 today. Takes again for ball 2 from Nolan Miller. Well, I believe I finished watching things on the stream of the game on my phone, went back to watch that at-bat, and I had it, that was only the third ball in the at-bat when the base running out was made. Ball popped up on the infield, calling for it. Second baseman Rylan Detzler will make the catch to retire Jace Wilder. One away to start the bottom of the sixth inning. Today's game brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Ground ball down the third base line, snagged by Mueller. That will retire Evan Corbin. Swinging at the first pitch there for Corbs. And he goes down 5-3. And Roseburg's quickly down to its final out in the sixth. Nolan Miller's first pitch to Jake Johnson is fouled away. The 0-1 pitch. Johnson takes strike two. The 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. The breaking ball gets him. So Roseburg got a quick top half of the sixth inning, but Sheldon comes back and Nolan Miller makes it a quick bottom half of the sixth. He gets his 10th strikeout of the game and sets down Roseburg in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Go to the seventh inning. Sheldon leading comfortably 8-0 on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Top of the seventh inning, an 8-0 lead for the Sheldon Irish. It'll be Ty Burnham, a lefty, that'll dig in first and swings and fouls it off. Brevin Harrison on the mound for Roseburg still here in the seventh inning as Roseburg tries to pull off a big comeback here tonight. 0-1 pitch for Harrison. Ooh. Didn't look like that missed by much. It goes to a 1-1 count. Checking in with the Ducks. They're in the top of the fourth inning. Right now, Oregon leading 3-0 against the San Francisco Dons. Breaking ball fouled away, out of play by Burnham, who is 0 for 3 in the game, reached on an error in the fourth inning. A 1-2 pitch, high and away. 2-2 count. Burnham takes strike three to finish off his at-bat. For Burnham, that is now an 0 for 4 day as he goes down looking. Second strikeout for Brevin Harrison. One down in the top of the seventh inning. That brings up Hunter Lansden. First pitch misses for ball one. Lansden is 0 for 3 in the game. Today's game brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Strike on the inside corner for Harrison. Strike call. 1-1 goes to 1-2. Against Lansden. Harrison trying to get his third strikeout. Does! Swing and a miss. Brevin Harrison has come in. relief of James Coleman. Hasn't necessarily been perfect out there, but he's only given up 2 hits. He struck out 3. And he's given up just 2 runs. First pitch gets by for ball 1. So 6 of the runs go to James Coleman's total. 2 have come in against Brevin Harrison. High and away, 2-0 count. Two-0 pitch. Hits the outside corner, bottom of the strike zone. 2 balls and a strike for Rocco Graziano. Pitch high and away. Actually, high and inside. Get all my directions correctly here. 3 balls, 1 strike for Graziano. The pitch. That ball off the hands, fouled up behind home. Chasing it, Parker Burke. He makes the catch on the run. In foul territory, Roseburg will get out of the jam. Here in the top of the 7th, actually not much of a jam. It goes down in order, 1, 2, 3. As we finish off the top of the 7th. Roseburg now looks for a huge rally in the bottom of the 7th. Nolan Miller expected to come out to try and finish this one off. Bottom of the 7th coming up on 541radio.com and on the Score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
In baseball, home plate is always 60 feet 6 inches from the mound. But in life, sometimes your home plate needs to move. If you're planning to move, contact BTB Moving for help. BTB Moving is a labor-only company offering statewide services such as packing and unpacking, loading and unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. BTB Moving is an affordable veteran-owned company. Call 541-315-0122 for help with your next move. BTB Moving for all your moving needs. Top of the 7th inning, Roseburg trailing this one 8-0 against the Sheldon Irish. Roseburg will be at Sheldon for a couple of games. Later on in the season, they'll play a doubleheader up there. Leading things off for Roseburg, Parker Burke. First pitch swinging. Diving attempt. It's off the glove for Burnham in right field, and it's a 3-for-3 day at the plate for Parker Burke. Burke has a double and 2 singles. A diving attempt by Burnham in right field. Couldn't come up with that one. And that will be a leadoff single for Roseburg. Burke's actually going to stay in the game to run for himself. Nope, here comes a courtesy runner, and thought it was going to be Russell. Instead, it's going to be Dane St. Clair.
Now running the first base, number 4, Dane St. Clair.
So 1 on with nobody out. That's the way every rally will start, as a pitch in the dirt from Miller, a 1-0 count. Jordan White at the plate for the Tribe. White, soft hit, line drive into left field, drops in for a base knock, his first hit of the day. Roseburg, their best half inning so far in the ballgame. 2 on with nobody out. Still a long way to go.
Number 9,
Roseburg and Sheldon today. Also today, South Eugene and South Medford squaring off in conference play, and Grants Pass at North Medford. Unless Roseburg has a big rally here, they'll be kind of dropping in the league standings just a little bit. Still very early, not a lot of separation between everybody. The 8-hitter, scheduled to be James Coleman. I think we may have had a change here. Yeah, that doesn't look quite like Coleman at the plate. First pitch, strike 1. It's Brevin Harrison who will bat for himself. The DH comes out of the game. Brevin Harrison, first at-bat of the day. Takes strike 2 on the outside corner, right at the knees. White at first, Burke at second. On the mound, the lefty, Nolan Miller, trying to get a complete game shutout of Roseburg. The 0-2 pitch. Harrison goes swinging, and he cannot locate that one for strike 3. 11th strikeout in the game for Miller, 1 away. Still 2 runners on. Hunter Fullerton will bat. He's 0 for 2 today. And instead, we will get a pinch hitter here. It'll be Brevin Harrison to bat. Excuse me, not Harrison. It'll be Braden Russell that is batting. Russell takes the first pitch for strike 1 at the knees. Oh, 1 count. That ball fouled away. I thought that Roseburg and my Chicago Cubs were both doomed today. Seattle jumped out to a huge lead on Chicago in Major League Baseball. The Cubs just hit a grand slam to take an 8-7 lead in the 3rd inning after being down, I believe, 7-0. 0-2 pitch, meanwhile, for Russell. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Miller, and he is 1 more out away from getting out of things here in the 7th and getting that complete game shutout. Brings up the top of the order Eli Jacobs. 1 last shot for him to try and continue a hit streak. He's at 7 games right now. And more importantly, I'm sure he would like to get a hit to try and keep this game going for Roseburg. Be able to get his team in the position for a huge comeback here with 2 outs. Fouled off the first pitch, an 0-1 count for Roseburg's leadoff hitter, trailing 8-0 in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs and 2 on. The 0-1 to Jacobs. That ball out towards right field, carrying, and the center fielder E.J. Peterson is underneath it for the out. So not the finest hour for the Roseburg Indians here today, as they will fall 8-0 against the Sheldon Irish. And Roseburg will go to 4-2 in conference play. Sheldon goes to 4-3 in Southwest Conference play. The season will continue Saturday for the Tribe. We'll come back after a 3-minute break, and we will wrap this one up for you here from Champion Car Wash Field. This is Roseburg Baseball on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate! Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
gets down in the dugout. So
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
What rhymes with great?
this Southwest Conference matchup goes to the Sheldon Irish as we wrap things up with you here tonight. Tonight's game been brought to you by Dr. Alanson Randall, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or call him at 541-378-6694. Video streaming of Roseburg baseball is brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. Well, a tough one for the Indians here today. They lose 8-0 against the Sheldon Irish, who come in and have one of their better games of the season. For Roseburg, one of their worst, unfortunately. Now they get to try and bounce back going into Saturday when they will head to Willamette to try and take 2 against the Wolverines and bounce back and kind of put themselves back amongst the leaders in the Southwest Conference. Tough one here, but the Southwest Conference we always know is a difficult sled. And I think Roseburg, their rotation, their pitching lineup got a little bit thrown off with the injury to Takahashi. And so we'll see. We'll see how the season goes forward. You got to play with the guys you have. And that was a game that Roseburg needed to perform better in. Tonight they fall 8-0. The final numbers, 8 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and 5 men left on base for Sheldon. No runs, 6 hits, 1 error, and 7 men left on base for Roseburg. Picking up the win is Nolan Miller, complete game victory. He allows 6 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 12 strikeouts here today. Taking the loss will be James Coleman. He goes to 2-1 on the season, gives up 6 runs on 4 hits over 3 innings. He walked 4, hit 2, and had no strikeouts. Brevin Harrison came on in relief, pitched the final 4 innings, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts for his total line there. But the loss goes to James Coleman, his first of the season. That ends a 3-game winning streak for Roseburg. They're now 11-3 on the season, 4-2 in conference play. Sheldon improves to 6-7 on the year, and 4-3 in Southwest Conference play. It was scoreless through the first 2 innings, and Sheldon would get on the board in the 3rd inning. A leadoff walk to Asher Olson got the catcher on board. Then back-to-back singles by Cade Welch and Nolan Miller brought in the first run of the game for the Irish. Miller driving in a run. A fly out to center field wasn't enough to drive in a run, so Roseburg got the first out, but then a 2-run single to left field for John Mueller gave the Irish a 3-0 lead. They would hold it from there on out. In the 4th inning, some fireworks, but more importantly, 2 walks and a hit batter for James Coleman, and that helped the Irish out a bit there. Plus, some poor bunt defense once again rearing its ugly head for Roseburg. And 3 runs. The first 3 runners would get on base. They would all come in to score. A sacrifice fly by Rylan Detzler driving in a run. A single by John Mueller driving in a run, and then a ball in play for that ended up being called an error. Ends up bringing in a run as well in that 4th inning. Some controversy at the end of the inning with Hunter Lansden at the plate. Sheldon thought it was ball 4. Runners were moving on the pitch with 2 outs, and then with the final out being made on a tag at second base, 2 runners at second base, allowing Roseburg to get the final out there on that base running error. So Roseburg would get out of the 4th inning, but 4 runs would come in for Sheldon on the 2 hits and 1 error. They would add 1 more run off of Brevin Harrison in the 5th inning. After a one-out walk to Rocco Graziano, he scored on a wild pitch there in that 5th inning. That was all the runs for Sheldon. Roseburg had a runner in scoring position just 3 times in this game, and they were unable to do anything with that runner in scoring position. Both teams with 6 hits in the ball game. Looking at the offense, Cade Welch goes 1 for 2 with a walk, a hit by pitch, and a single. Scored a run and had an RBI. Nolan Miller was 1 for 4 with an RBI single and 2 runs scored. Ryland Detzler had a sacrifice fly to drive in a run. John Mueller was 2 for 3 in the game, 3 RBI. He was hit by a pitch in there as well, as he had 2 singles. Ty Burnham, not sure if he'll get an RBI or not, but he did have a run score on a ball in play as he reached on an error. Then you had 2 runs scored for Rocco Graziano as he reached twice on walks. A.J. Peterson scored once, reaching on a walk. He also had a single. He was 1 for 2 today. And Asher Olson was 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored as he got a walk in there as well. On the other side for Roseburg, big day at the plate for Parker Burke, going 3 for 3 with a double and 2 singles. Also today for Roseburg, Brooks Avery with a single, Jace Wilder with a single. They both go 1 for 3. Jordan White was 1 for 3, a base hit in his last at-bat, and that was all the hits in the game for Roseburg. Not the way they wanted to start out this week, but they've got a chance to make up for it coming up on Saturday with a doubleheader on the road at Willamette, starting with Game 1 at noon. We'll be there to bring you coverage of that one. So Roseburg falls against Sheldon here at home today. They'll also get a chance to make it up with a pair of games at Sheldon coming up later this season. They'll play a doubleheader in Eugene on a Saturday. That will be May 6th when they make their way to Eugene. So again, the final score 8-0 as Roseburg falls against the Sheldon Irish. I want to say thanks to a couple more sponsors like the Cow Creek Tribe, who sponsors our video stream of Roseburg High Sports here on 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score. I want to say thanks to Mountain Mike's Pizza. Didn't have many pitching changes in this one here today, but they are your pitching change sponsor. That's pizza the way it ought to be. If you are driving around looking for dinner ideas, stop by Mountain Mike's Pizza tonight at the corner of Bellows and Harvard in Roseburg by the 124 interchange with I-5 and right next to Roseburg High School. And we want to say thanks to our RBI sponsor. There was unfortunately no RBI for Roseburg today as they get shut out, but RBIs this season for the Roseburg Indians are brought to you by BTB Moving. When the Roseburg Indians are bringing someone home, you could be thinking about bringing your stuff to your new home with BTB Moving. Whether it's in Douglas County or around the state of Oregon, BTB Moving will provide labor services for your moving needs. Book now at 541-315-0122 or find them on Facebook at BTB Moving. All right, we're going to wrap it up there, folks, as we say goodnight. We remind you we will have Oregon State baseball coming up for you next here on The Score. They are in the top of the 3rd inning in that one. Gonzaga and Oregon State are tied at 1-1 in that game. We'll have that game coming up for you here in just a moment. And in Eugene, just to give you a quick score update there, the Oregon Ducks leading 5-0 against San Francisco in the top of the 5th of that ball game. But Oregon State baseball coming up next as they host Gonzaga. We'll get you most of that game here on The Score, so stay tuned for that, Beaver fans and baseball fans everywhere. Mike Parker will be here with you next. That's going to do it for me. As we sign off, I want to say thanks to the Sheldon Irish for making the trek down here for today's ball game. I want to say thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bolin, Head Coach Troy Thompson, and the entire Roseburg baseball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg baseball here on The Score. I want to say thanks to Abby Knight back in the studio for the radio production here tonight. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keyran. We'll talk with you coming up on Saturday afternoon when Roseburg makes the trek to Eugene to take on the Willamette Wolverines for a Southwest Conference doubleheader. Game 1 starts at noon, and Game 2 about 20 minutes after Game 1 around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll have video coverage of both at 541radio.com, or you can catch them on the radio as well. Stay tuned. Beavers baseball coming up next right here on your home for sports in Douglas County. It's The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.